So next is simultaneous elections. Now, this is a very small topic. What I wanted to do here is just to give you an idea regarding how you can think about a policy or a new change at the government level, at the political level, from different theories or perspectives. See, this is just to give you an idea regarding how to bring diverse theories in a topic which is somewhat homogeneous. Here, when we are discussing about simultaneous elections, we are going to discuss about power itself, right? Because there is no other scope. We cannot bring in alienation here. Okay, we cannot bring anomy here. We cannot bring Marx concept of economic determinism or any other stuff. It's very limited, right? So here we are going to discuss about a topic which is quite homogeneous and uniform. And you have to discuss about different aspects of power here. So in that case, how will you bring different dimensions of or theories of power into this particular topic? Likewise, you can also expect questions related to, say, for example, suppose UPSC ask a question on a new legislation, okay, which try to increase punishments for crimes against women, similar to what was brought in BNS. Okay, so there you don't have the freedom to bring multiple different dimensions and concepts or perspectives. You will have to limit yourself into a particular area, which is very limited, and you have to bring multiple dimensions there, because you cannot write a single dimension and explain it elaborately in the paper. So this can be taken as a model to do that kind of analysis. Okay, here what we have done is we have tried to explain simultaneous elections using different theories of power. How can we view simultaneous elections from different theories of power that we have learned? Is it clear? So when it comes to sociological perspective on simultaneous election, first it is Weber's constant sum theory. How can we connect constant sum theory of Weber into simultaneous elections? What is Weber's constant sum theory of power? Yeah, power is a limited facility, meaning one group, if they are holding power, it is at the expense of the other group, right? That is the constant sum or zero sum concept of power. So how can we add that concept into simultaneous elections? Yeah, correct. Yeah, exactly. See, one of the major drawbacks that most of the political experts say regarding simultaneous election is, if we conduct simultaneous elections, there will be a tendency for people to vote for those parties who are in power at the center, or who stand a chance to win in the center, right? So such tendencies will lead to a situation where local election results may also go in favor of those parties who are standing a chance to win at the center, right? So that gives them, that leads to a situation of concentration of power with a particular political party. This is how we can connect Weber's zero-sum concept with that of simultaneous elections. Is it clear, everyone? Have you got that particular connection? So Weber's zero-sum concept mentions that, or it usually points out to that of the concentration of power, where one group, if they are exercising power, means other groups are not having power. In case of simultaneous elections, there is a tendency where people tend to vote for those parties who stand a chance to win at the center, or who are already in power at the center. Right, that can have an influence on the local elections, and they may stand a chance to win all the elections, like central, state level, or local level. Now, this will have an impact on the power distribution in the society, right, where power will be concentrated at the hands of a single political party. Now, you might have also heard about the coattail effect. This coattail effect is what we have discussed right now, that the people's tendency to vote for those parties at the center in the local elections as well. That is referred to as the coattail effect. There will be a strong bias among people. Okay. Then, next is, how can we use power elite theory here? What is power elite theory? Or elite theory? Now, elite theory, there are two versions. Classical elite theorists focused on the personality traits and characteristics of the elites, and the later stage elites focused on the institutional aspect, especially C.W. Mills, right? So, combining all this, one common thread of power elite theory is that a group of elites hold power in the society, right? Irrespective of any other factor, there is a group of elites who actually hold and control the society, right? So how can we use that theory to explain simultaneous selection? Yeah. Same party will be in power. That is mostly towards that of constant sum notion of power.
Main national party network.
Okay. See, think regarding elites, not from central government, state and local government. Think from the elite perspective. Influence of elites in various levels of government. See, when it comes to that of the elites, okay, elites have differential level of control over different levels of government. The elites who control the national government and the elites who control the state governments will be different. Now, when there is the simultaneous election, what will happen is the same group of elites can have an influence not only at the center but also at the local level. Right. So that is how we can connect the power elite theory to that of simultaneous elections. Right. In the first hand, we discussed about Weber's notion where a single party is going to have that kind of, power, all-encompassing power. Right. In the second stage, in power elite theory, we can say that the same elites are going to have influence at the center as well as at the local levels when there is simultaneous election. Because at that point, election funding, right, the influence of elites is going to be throughout the country. It's not limited to that of national election. It is not limited to that of state elections, right? They will have their influence and their impact throughout the country at all levels of government. So that is how you can mention the elite theory, where elites can have their preferred candidates at all levels of government, right? And as a result, the elite group at the center, or whichever elite group is more dominant, they will become even more powerful. Is it clear? All right. Now, third aspect is regarding Parsons' view. Okay, what is Parsons' views on power? Variable sum concept, where Parsons believe that power is not a limited facility, instead it is a generalized facility, meaning the entire society holds power, right? In that perspective, how can we consider simultaneous election? Now you have to also consider that Parsons is a functionalist. So he will not be criticizing simultaneous elections. Instead, he will be supportive of, or if he is there, he will be supportive of simultaneous elections. So when you apply Parsons' theory of power, which is the variable sum concept of power, how can you analyze the simultaneous elections? Water turnout, efficiency, like how can it increase efficiency? Correct. See, when we are conducting simultaneous elections, there we need not have to spend too much time on conducting elections monitoring. As a result, all the government officials can also save their time and they can work towards the collective goals of the society and try to increase the overall power of society. Right. So simultaneous elections can be considered from Parsons' perspective in the sense that when simultaneously elections are conducted, we can reduce the resource required for conducting elections. We can reduce the time spent by various officials for conducting elections, and all the officials can utilize that time for achieving the collective goals of the society, and thereby they can increase the power of overall society. Clear? This is how you can connect Parsons' theory of power to that of simultaneous elections. All right, clear? And finally, you can also mention about the pluralist theory of power, Robert Dahl, right? What is pluralist theory of power? Power is distributed, right? It is not concentrated, instead it is decentralized, scattered, where different groups hold power, right? Power is not concentrated, instead it is scattered or it is decentralized, where different groups hold power. And basically, when it comes to that of the pluralist theory of power, mentions that democracy is nothing but it's kind of negotiation, right, between these different power groups. All right. So how can you apply the pluralist theory of power into this? Can anyone online? Here, see, basically, pluralistic theory of power becomes important in analyzing, simultaneous elections, in the sense that simultaneous elections will truly make democracy pluralistic. Because when we are competing or contesting the elections simultaneously at different levels of government, they should get into different types of coalitions. Because people will start considering this as a single election, not like different levels of election. Everyone will start considering it as a single election, right? The local issues may not surface. Instead, all the national level or general level issues will surface in such elections. So in order to have a proper power or to have a favorable power equation, these groups will have to get into coalition with several groups. Right? Imagine political parties will have to have coalition in every state, wherever they do not have any kind of presence. Right? They will have to reach out to different social groups, different communities, different organizations, associations. That will lead to a situation where democracy will truly become more pluralistic, because all different sections of society, all different associations and groups will be able to have or to influence this particular result, right? So that is how we can connect pluralistic theory of power in case of simultaneous elections. Got the idea? So this is, maybe if UPSC ask this question, you can add this content there. But on the other hand, in any form of or any type of such questions, you have to think from different perspectives of that particular topic. Suppose there is a question related to stratification, and you are supposed to mention different angles of stratification or perspectives of stratification. There again, what you need to do is take different theories of stratification. Within functional perspective, you have Parsons' theory of stratification, you have Davison-Morse theory of stratification. Then you have Marxian perspective, then you have Weber's perspective. You can also mention about the feminist perspective, which is also related to that of perspective on stratification. There you need to try and analyze or try to think on whether you can connect that particular perspective with the question or the topic asked. That is how you will be able to come up with the connections. So any such questions in the similar model, take the perspectives on that particular topic, whether it is power or stratification or religion or anything. Just take the overall perspectives and try to take each one of them and find out whether it is suitable or there is any possibility to connect it to that of the demand of the question. That is how you can bring points. Yeah. See, there is clearly a way to think, okay, which will help you to bring better points in your answer. Now, the way to think is not common for all types of questions. You will be able to write better answers when you understand these different patterns. So that patterns are very, very important. Okay. And these patterns can be understood in two ways. One, you can attend these kind of sessions where we try to understand different patterns and how to address different types of questions based on the demand. Or the second thing is, what you can do is you have to write answers, right? Because when you write answers and when you understand that you haven't addressed that question properly, or you haven't have added like proper content in that particular answer, you will realize, okay, this is how I need to think for such questions. This is how I can bring, points or dimensions for such questions. So that is how you need to align your thinking. Okay. See, sociology, again, I'm repeating, is not just, or scoring marks in sociology is not just about preparing content. If you're believing that, then you're completely mistaken. There is no relationship between the amount of content that you have prepared and the marks that you're going to get in. There is some relation, but beyond the point, there is no correlation. Okay. The entire correlation is between the ability that you have to bring whatever content that you have effectively into the answer based on the demand of the question. If you're able to do that effectively without having advanced level of knowledge also, you can still score 280 plus marks. Because I'm saying this not just as, some in order to motivate you, but have seen that examples. Okay. But on the other hand, if you have like advanced level of in-depth knowledge, but still you don't know how to bring these content effectively to the paper, then you will not stand a chance to get good marks. Okay. So writing regularly is the key.